argue against
Best
that, really.
price, right?
I mean, I could talk about mini wheat here. I think it's safe to say he plays it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Although, you know, he has interesting approach. You know, he has certain champs that he really likes, and the thing is that he doesn't quite understand the urgency yet, D-Man. So you'll see him go out, the minions start spawning. All of a sudden, you'll see him like dancing in base for 5 minutes. It's like, okay, we need to work on that a little bit, but it's what you'd expect out of a 6 or 7-year-old. So. We'll get
sometimes I feel like they're on my team.
it might have been him, but no, we don't let him play right, so don't worry. Not yet, anyway. Not yet.
Maybe you not, but I feel some of my teammates, often when I play, that they are, they're still dancing in base or something. I'm just like, what are you guys doing? This is serious business, serious internet gaming business. But we've had, obviously, a bit of a delay here. No doubt about it. The teams can reset their minds now. So what sort of strategies would you sort of change coming into this one? I mean, first of all, that kind of almost worked for COG. I felt they were coming back into that one. First game, obviously, they need to just reset. That didn't work. What do they do? Because we always say COG plays standard.
From a picks and bans perspective, some might change, but I think it's generally going to stay. They're going to keep the Orianna ban. A Nivea and TF, I'm expecting 100% in this series, and that only leaves a couple open. WE, with that triple invade, I don't know if they're going to go with the Olaf again because he's very much about getting the early blue buff. And now that they've seen that twice, COG might do something to counteract that. Really early on, I don't have the pulse on WE strategies because they've qualified so long ago and they haven't had to show anything since then. Whereas COG EU has been playing in many high-stakes events and they've always generally played standard. So it's really an edge to WE almost the more they play here because they seem to have the diverse strategies where COG EU does not.
And when it comes down to that reset, like you said, it seems like there's a couple different roads that a team can take. Do they go with something similar as to what they were doing the last game and sort of surprise their opponent? Do they have something new in store? Maybe is a great time to do it. And so this new mental game kind of gets introduced, and you have to be really careful not to let it psych yourself out. If you know what I mean, you have to just be confident in what your team is going to do, and not think so much about what the other team might change now that there has been a reset.
Yeah, and even actually in the group stage, going back, the teams that decided that they had something new in this tournament, especially Dignitas. The whole pre-tournament talk for them was, we're going to change the game. We're going to do something crazy. And that was the roaming Tarek following around the jungler. That really didn't work that well at all. So you do have to be careful when you pull out these new strategies or try to surprise someone. Even though you have the advantage on the enemy team, you have to execute it. It has to be well practiced. COG NA has pretty good practice with that triple teleport strategy, but that hasn't always been the case. They've lost a lot of games trying to do those things. So at least Team WE, as we come up into this game too, they will have to be careful if they mix it up, that they pick something they have a lot of practice on.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on that, D-Man?
Well, I mean, Jan is definitely the expert on this one. He's way ahead of me in that sense. But, I mean, COG EU, they've been up against it. And they've come back from probably harder situations. Obviously,